Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome aboard. It's the movie show.
It is. It's wildcard week.
Oh, yes.
Ross Cook has played his wildcard.
Mucho excitemento.
It is. First one of the season. First one of season 8.
Yeah, it's going to be the best wildcard this season.
So far.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Guaranteed.
Ross Cook has played his wildcard on a film called New Gods, Nezha Reborn.
Yeah.
Or Nezha Reborn, depending on which website you believe. I think what's happened here is
It doesn't make much of a difference.
It doesn't, no.
Oh, no.
I believe there's a new franchise being created in China called the New Gods franchise.
Yes.
And Nezha Reborn is the first film in this franchise. There's another one coming out this year that's called something else. And I think they're basically building up this superhero franchise.
I mean, I would say so, because of all the movies we've ever seen on this show, this is definitely the movie with the most post-credit sequences.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
There's 4, I counted.
It tells you to stick around for the post-credit sequences. Is there 4? I don't know if I've seen 4.
And I didn't understand what was happening in them.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure
I've
seen 4
There was 4 credits, and they were all like, coming soon, this person.
Yeah, this trailer and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen 4, so you might have to help me out towards the end. This film was released in 2021. It is a 12. It runs for 1 hour and 58 minutes. Currently rated at 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's a good rating.
It's a good rating. It is a good rating. It's a animated movie.
Yeah.
Which we should probably mention. Computer CGI animation, I guess.
I don't know if it is completely.
No, it's not hand-drawn, though, is it?
No.
It's computer generated all the way through.
But
like
it's
Toy
not.
Story.
It's flat computers,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's more in a comic book style rather than a 3D animation. So I would have said
it was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
It really does look pretty.
Yeah,
really well made, really well animated movie. I think. It stars a guy called Harrison Su. He plays Yin. Oh, I'm never going to get this name right. Li Ying Zhuang, I think we're calling him. He's in Bullet Train.
Oh, great.
Which has just come onto Netflix in America.
Cool.
If you want to check it out. He's also in All of Us Are Dead.
Yeah, I watched one episode of that.
Did you?
Yeah. It was very long. It was like the length of the movie.
Like the movie length episodes, aren't they? All of them. I think it's just come back for another season or just about to come
Possibly,
back for another season.
It was quite a big hit.
Yeah, it was. Netflix original. Also stars a lady called Nicole Fong. She plays Dr. Su Yun Zhu. Yep. She's the doctor in this. There's a doctor all the way through this. She's also in All of Us Are Dead.
Oh, nice.
There's a theme coming here. Also stars a lady called Victoria Grace. She plays Kesha.
Yep.
She's in All of Us Are Dead.
Wow. I like to think they just voiced this in between takes.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Just filming that show.
Yeah. She's also a voice in The Last of Us Part 2. She does a lot of voice work.
Okay.
So yeah, she's a voice in that. Written by a person called Mu Xuan. That's one word. I could not find anything out about them at all. They only have 2 credits on IMDb, which is this movie and the one that's about to come out this year.
Yeah.
And that's it. I literally could not find any. I don't even know if it's a male or a female.
Okay.
So this person is called Mu Xuan, and he or she wrote it. Directed by Ji Zhao, who has directed quite a few Chinese movies, but nothing that you would have ever seen over here, I don't think.
Okay.
This film had a cinema release in 3 countries in the world.
Oh, nice.
Would you like to know the countries?
Paraguay?
Would you like to guess the countries? Not Paraguay. I think you'll get one of them, and I think you'll struggle. China, correct. I think you might struggle with the other 2. They are connected.
Malaysia.
No.
Well, that's my 3. I can't believe it didn't come out in Paraguay.
It didn't come out in the worldwide in Paraguay. You want me to tell you?
Go on then.
Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had a cinema release, which led to a worldwide gross box office of $56 million.
That's okay.
Which is not bad from 3 countries.
Yeah, that's
3
okay.
properties. Yeah, that's all I've got on this film. So what we should probably do is try and talk through this absolute batshit crazy Chinese animated superhero movie. Do you have a one-word review?
Good epilepsy.
Good epilepsy. Good epilepsy.
Yeah. It's like...
Can epilepsy be good?
No, it can't. But like, this movie might give you epilepsy, but it looked good.
Yes. There's lots of flashy lights and colours, and it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Where does this film start, Nick?
Voiceover.
Yes. And it basically says...
We've had a lot of voiceovers starting movies this season.
It's either words on screen or voiceovers.
Yeah.
I think it's every movie.
I think it is.
I think it is so far. Basically, all this one says is everyone has an identity. Everybody's
Yeah.
somebody in this world. And we're going to meet this guy. And we do. Instantly, we meet Lee. Instantly, we meet Lee. I'm sticking with that.
We'll go with Lee. Lee's the surname, but
I'm not 100% sure on how to pronounce it. I apologize.
that's fine.
He appears to be some sort of racer. He's a racer at this point.
Yeah, with the first scene, we're straight into the action. Basically, it's a street race. It's a motorbike race.
Street race.
Through like a foundry.
Yeah.
/ industrial smelting area.
Smelting. He does, and he wins this race.
It's a great sequence.
It is a really, really good opening action sequence.
Part music video, part computer game.
Yeah.
And we follow these bikes racing through all these, like I say, this industrial area, and we also follow a girl who's sort of following the race from the rooftops.
Yeah.
She's sort of running along, trying to keep up.
Yeah, she was. And then...
And it's full of like swooping shots. The bikes are, screeching under pipes and jumping.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great opening sequence.
Yeah.
Was the girl Kesha, was she his sister?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's Lee's younger sister.
Just after he wins the race, he breaks the fourth wall and talks directly to camera.
This happens like 2 or 3 times in the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot.
This is the only time he does it.
Yeah, I think it is. It doesn't happen a lot in the movie, but
No.
I think it's... But there just seems to be a trend of this happening just lately. I'm not sure why. Anyway, his sister comes to congratulate him. She's all over him, asking for a ride home. And he is more interested in going to speak to the hot girl.
Yeah, who he just beat in the race.
Yeah,
she came second.
Yes. But she completely blows him off when she goes to speak to him. Not in the good way, in the bad way.
Yeah, he strikes out.
Basically, and then we get a bit of exposition on what has happened in this world and where we are. So
yeah,
apparently,
should this bit have been before the
maybe
street race?
it kind of that's like an opening action sequence, and then we're going into the movie from here. Basically, there was a massive war that happened some 3,000 years ago, and it basically resulted in the city running out of water.
Again, we've got different clans.
Yeah,
in this city,
it's a very similar story to. It's the second movie we've seen this season where people have to queue up for water.
Yes,
and we've only watched 8 movies this season. And this is the second movie that...
And also in Double World, it has this clan system.
Yeah, it's a very similar setup. It's a very similar, that was a war between gods as well. This is a war between gods. And yeah, it's left this city where you have to queue and go and get your daily water allowance. And if there isn't any left, you don't get any. And we carry on with Lee. He works for a company called Speedy Couriers.
He doesn't know.
No.
This is just the frontage.
It's the front of a smuggling ring.
Yeah.
So he's a smuggler.
He is.
Or he works for smugglers. And he reveals at this point that he's never left this city in his life. He's born and grown up there and he's never left. He never had any reason
we
to
kind
leave.
of don't know what is in the outside world. I don't think we're in a sort of post-apocalyptic environment.
I don't think so.
But what would you call the setting to this? I'd say it was kind of part steampunk.
Yeah.
Part sort of industrially revolutionary type, because there is some sort of futuristicness.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also mystical, and there's a lot to this environment. So it's part mystical, part futuristic, part steampunk.
Yeah, there's a bit of everything in there.
Yeah. It's a big smorgasbord of.
But we don't know what's outside of the city because he's never left this city, and this whole movie's set there. And as far as he's concerned, this is the whole world. And it turns out they're using the old water pipes as like smuggling ways to smuggle things into the city and out of the city, which I thought was quite an interesting idea. And then he does something to an old water pipe, which
he goes out at night under cover, and basically he manages to infiltrate the waterworks.
Yeah,
just outside the city,
and he manages to get water flowing into.
Yeah,
the city.
he managed to open one of the valves and sort of destroys it, so it's difficult for the goons to fix it.
Yeah,
and at least for a little while, returns sort of this flow of water into the city.
So people are quite happy.
And water's more expensive than gold.
Yeah,
here
water's like valuable, super valuable. Then he goes back to do some actual courier work because he gets given a kitten to deliver.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the address he's given is fake.
Yeah.
So basically this person wanted to abandon a kitten.
Yeah.
And has done. And now Lee's going to keep this kitten. And he doesn't want it. He ends up getting lumbered with it. He tries to let it free and it doesn't want to.
It's that old, this cute animal starts
really
to follow
cute
him
as well.
after he's sort of shooed it away. And he does. He takes it back, doesn't he,
Yep.
to his home.
He keeps it and he heads to the Palace of Happiness, which is some sort of nightclub / strip club / entertainment cabaret venue. And he watches a singer through the window.
It's his sister.
And it is his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's singing. She comes out to greet him afterwards and he gives her the cat as like a gift because he doesn't want it. He knows that she'll really want it and she's now got a cat.
She says, by way of exposition, have you heard the news?
Yeah.
The clan in charge of this place have announced no one's getting any water for a few days as punishment for the vandalism on the waterworks.
Yeah.
So
Bad times.
because you've had a load for free, no more.
Yep.
That's it. Till we say so.
And then we meet some gangsters. I've written gangsters because that's kind of what they were. They control the water and therefore they control the whole city, in this case the whole world pretty much. And they have a bit of a run-in with Lee.
This is the Day Clan.
Is that what they were called?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the guys running this town.
Yeah.
Specifically, they say they're literally almost bumped into me at a crossroads in the city. And the guy we meet is the son of the leader of the clan, is what we're told.
Like young mafia.
Spoilt.
Yeah, you know the type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets everything everyone is. And he says to Lee, I like your bike.
Yeah.
And I get whatever I want. Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, absolutely. But they manage to speed off. They don't get he doesn't get the bike at this point.
Yeah.
And they go for dinner with his brother and his angry dad, I've written.
Yeah.
Because his dad was always very... his dad's called... What was his dad called? Old Lee.
Old Lee.
He wasn't even that old, but...
I thought mostly the characters and the characterization and the writing in this movie was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think Old Lee was definitely shortchanged.
Yeah, a little bit. He was
There
just
wasn't
a
much
grumpy
to
old
this
man,
guy.
wasn't he? Yeah.
And it was really... It was too obvious and too on the nose because he was... Every time he was in it, it was basically, you're not my favourite son.
Yeah.
I like your sister. I like your brother.
Not a big fan
You're
of
a
you.
massive loser, mate.
I think I got the impression that him and his brother worked for the anti-smuggling unit.
I don't think Lee did. Well, maybe Lee did previously. We never see him.
No, I mean his dad and his brother did.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Yeah,
I think
his brother definitely did.
His brother definitely did. I think
his dad may have used to.
may have formed it
Yeah.
or something. So that's why they're not a big fan of what Lee does. Lee and Kesha leave the dinner and they're being followed. And it's the gangster dude again, the young, spoiled, gangster dude.
Yeah, so we get a chase scene.
Yeah,
Great,
really good chase
brilliantly
scene.
animated. Again,
So well
jumping
done.
over gaps, between trains and
Yeah, he literally jumps a train on
Yeah.
his bike to get away from the...
Lee's on his
car
bike
that's being
and the
followed.
clan's they're on cars,
Yeah.
motorbikes.
And it's amazing. It's a really well done chase scene. And it ends where the gangster guy crashes the car.
You get a lot of comic book style animation in this where, as well, in an action scene where, the screen actually splits into panels almost.
Yeah.
With different characters' reactions or actions.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I do as well. So the car all gets smashed up. The bike, they end up coming off the bike as well. And this guy comes out. I didn't catch his name. I do apologize.
But his name was... I'll get his name later. I think it was Yao Bing, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
He manages to somehow summon some sort of crazy giant ice demon.
So he corners Lee. So it's Lee and this Yao Bing guy, and I just put he turns into an ice god and stabs Lee.
Yeah, he fires like icicles
Didn't
at
know
him.
what else to put.
It was exactly what happened.
And he doesn't turn into a god. What happens with these people with powers is that they'll be standing usually in a face-off, and then behind them this huge personification of their powers sort of looms over.
Yes.
So this guy's got like this icy behemoth behind him.
Good word.
It looks really cool.
It looks really cool. Yeah, it's exactly what happens. And he fires like icicles into Lee.
Yeah, stabs him multiple times.
Yeah, and then they beat him up. They kick him in
Yeah.
the face. He gets beat up quite badly.
And he basically says, I told you, I get anything I want.
Yeah. And then he kills the cat.
He takes his bike.
He takes the bike. And
then
then
he fucking stabs this
the
kitten.
Cat. Yeah.
There's a lot of unnecessary animal murder in this movie.
There is,
which
yeah.
I was not on board with.
There is.
Because this is not the last time it happens in this movie.
No, it's not. Yeah, the cute little kitten gets stabbed with an icicle.
Yeah.
Dead. And then we cut back onto Lee and his eyes burned.
He goes on fire.
He goes on fire. He turns into, I've written, a fire demon.
Yeah.
So basically, the exact opposite of what we've just seen with the ice demon appears behind Lee. There's a great big fiery
and it's
personification.
It's fair to say all these gangsters are very shocked and
run away. Yeah, run away quite quickly.
Not before though. Yao Bing is wounded.
Yes, he gets burned on the arm
by Lee,
and he's got like a scaly underskin.
Under his skin, he's got scales.
So he goes home for an ice bath because we see him in the bath, nursing himself in this ice bath,
surrounded by like frozen women.
Yeah,
they're like lizardy.
Not like the women from Frozen.
No.
That'd be weird. Yeah, like lizardy, dragony, fiery women.
And then there's a little henchman who he's got as well.
Yes, I really like this little guy. He was like a fat controller.
Yes, he was.
Little dumpy little fat guy, like Smee from Hook.
And he's on the phone.
Yeah,
and it's a nice little tease. This was actually because he says he's on the phone to his boss. He says,
the guy's dad.
Yeah, your son's in trouble. It's happening again, or something like that. So
a little tease of what's coming. Yeah. Lee wakes up in a hospital bed.
He does.
He's he's obviously been stabbed multiple times by icicles, and Kesha's also in hospital.
Yes,
she's come off a little bit worse than Lee. She managed to lose a leg.
Yeah, she has lost a leg.
I don't quite know how. It must have been in the motorcycle crash.
Yeah, and the doctor, who is tending to him, is the woman from the bike race at the start of the movie.
Indeed, the one who's got a bit of a crush on.
Yeah, this is Dr. Sue.
Yeah, so Lee is fuming about his sister's lost leg. He's very much not happy about this, as you wouldn't be.
His wounds have healed from the ice stabbing.
Yes, he seems okay now.
Can I just talk before we get to the next bit about the setting of this hospital?
Yeah,
because it looks incredible.
It really did,
but it's hugely impractical.
Yes,
because we've seen this whole movie like being in this city. It's quite a big city. Like I say, parts of it very industrial, parts of it not so much. Bit of steampunk in there as well. We're now at this hospital in this amazing. It's like carved out of a cliffside.
Yeah, it's right on the edge of a cliff.
On the edge of a cliff,
above the ocean.
Seems to be quite difficult to get to.
It really
like
does.
A mountain pass.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Animated fantastically.
Highly inappropriate for a hospital.
Yeah, feels impractical.
Would have been a nice
placement.
hotel. But
I don't think it's going through with the town planning. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely not. And then for the first time, we meet the big leader of the mob boss.
Yeah, because the clan arrive.
Yeah, they all
outside
arrive.
The hospital.
And he's come to... This is like the Iceman's dad. And he's come to return Lee's bike to him.
Mr. Day.
Yeah. Mr. Day, is that what his name was?
Yeah.
He comes to return the bike and he offers Lee quite a lot of money as like an apology to like, apologies for my son. This is my gift to you.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Gives him a suitcase of gold.
Yeah.
And his bike back.
But Lee rejects that.
Yeah.
He's like, I want my sister's leg.
No, he says, I am going to take your son's leg.
Because, I want a leg, basically. And he speeds off on his bike.
Like Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah. He speeds off on his bike that he's now got back.
And his brother's like, you've got to take it.
Yeah.
Think what we could do with that money.
Yeah.
We could set our sister up for life.
She's going to be fine with all that money and what have you. And plus, these gangster guys are not people you want to be messing with. These are bad people. We cut back to the gangster man, Mr. Day, in his car, and they're having a discussion, and they think that he might be some sort of reincarnation of an old enemy.
Yeah.
One of their older enemies. And he says, kill him before he masters his power, just as we've done many times before.
He does, yeah.
I thought that was quite a good little tease as well. And then we have another car chase.
I've put this one is a slightly different style. It feels this is more like Mad Max meets the Matrix.
Yeah, massive trucks now chasing him.
Yeah,
his brother's in a van, pickup kind of thing.
He's chased Lee. Away from this, to try and say, look, we've got to take the deal. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to mess with these people.
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff.
He's chased Lee on his bike in his pickup, and then this massive truck's now chasing both of them.
Which is real sort of road warrior Mad Max.
Yeah, it's got like a mace on the back, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's swinging around like a and blades and all sorts.
Plus, there's loads of people on like motorbikes and stuff like that.
It's really cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a really cool little chase scene. They cut the top off the pickup, and the brother manages to escape and get onto the bike with.
Yeah, because this whip like cuts through metal.
Yeah,
and...
it's cool as anything. Yeah. And they actually manage to jump off a cliff to escape, and this Chuck can't follow and doesn't follow.
Yeah, Lee's brother's hurt in a crash, we presume.
He's now injured. And then I've written, a ghostly jellyfish woman captures them.
Yeah, I
just way to describe her.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the chase kind of ends, and Lee is confronted in this sort of dusty bowl, I guess, in the desert, and I put he's confronted by a jellyfish girl and a metal knight. Yeah,
if you imagine, in BioShock, the game, the big robot-y things, he looked exactly like that, the giant robot-y guy.
And this is the girl is like can fly because she's got like a jellyfish surrounding her head, and tentacles.
Yeah, it's all very strange.
Yeah,
which they managed to capture.
The design of some of these characters were awesome, by the way.
Really they really were.
Just looked brilliant.
We're about to
great action figures.
Yeah, they would.
Which I'm sure are out there.
I'm sure in China. Yeah, we're about to meet my favourite character in a minute. And he summons this fire god again and manages to kill them both. But he has the help of a friendly masked monkey.
Yeah, a masked man.
It's like a man
who we saw earlier watching over the bike race.
His look was bang on.
He was wearing this pink suit.
Yeah, imagine a monkey in a suit with a robot-y kind of mask over his face that made him look more human.
With a magic wand.
With a magic wand. Great character. He kind of helps him, and they kill the jellyfish woman and the robot thing. And
not before they sort of strip the metal knight out of his armor.
Yeah.
And he's like is it an anglerfish? Those really like ugly fishes with like the light out the front of there.
It's all very strange.
Yeah.
When I used the word batshit crazy at the beginning, I meant it.
Yeah.
The little monkey man drags the bodies away and kind of tidies up the scene for him. And Lee has to rush his brother to hospital. So we go back to
it's the first time we hear the name Nezha.
Oh, yes.
Because the masked monkey man says to him, "Oh, nice to see you again."
Yeah, so he's met Nezha. Nezha's the name of the fire demon
god
that is possessed Lee. And it appears like the monkey man has seen him before. Or her before. It was, in fact, a female demon.
I thought they would... Yes, because there's like 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I also thought they were not all male. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were female. Because there's a little girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
That comes later on. So he rushes his brother to hospital. And we go back to meet the ice dude, the younger guy again.
Yeah.
And
back at like Clan HQ.
Yeah, he's talking to his father. And he's like, he wants permission to defeat him. He wants to I can take this guy out. I need your permission to let me do that.
And his dad's like, no, you can't.
You're not strong enough.
I've fought this guy before.
Yeah, you've got no chance.
And he's proper hard.
Yeah, you've got no chance against him. This is Nezha.
He hurt me 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, and they've both got this. Here's my arm, and they've both got the same burn mark on their arms now.
His son's like taken aback.
Yeah, because he's like, you don't understand what this thing is. This guy kills without mercy. He will kill men, women, children, gods.
Yeah,
who would kill without mercy. You can't take him on. You're a nobody. And then he says this is Nezha or Nasha, I think they call it. That's how they describe it, how they pronounce it over there. And then the masked monkey man kind of explains it to Lee. The same explanations going on.
Concurrently, these explanations are happening from each side. Yeah,
and it turns out that Mr. Day is the Dragon King of the East Sea.
Yes,
so he's like the ice sea demon dragon killer.
Yes.
And 4,000 years ago, the Dragon Kings signed an agreement to stop fighting. Is also revealed at this point.
Yeah,
and
stop fighting each other.
But Nezha keeps breaking that deal.
Yeah. And
keeps coming back, keeps getting reincarnated, and keeps attacking. And that is now what's happening again.
They say he's and Mr. Day, the Dragon King, is like, well, we're the good guys.
Yeah.
Our job is to protect everyone else from this thing.
Yeah.
Which is just kills.
It's just kills without mercy, yeah.
Without mercy.
It's a real twist.
Life after life.
Yeah. Because Lee is a really good guy.
Yeah.
But Nacha is not.
Yeah.
Nacha's the bad guy here.
And the Dragon King says, we are here to kill these reincarnations before they spiral out.
And before they learn their powers and stay out of control. So basically, they kill anyone who they even suspect as being the reincarnation of Nacha.
They are also really evil because they're stopping people from having water.
Yeah, they've got complete control of the water.
There's layers to this, though. It's not,
absolutely.
We were talking about Wednesday back on the wave earlier this week.
That was just a layer.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of layers.
There's some. I thought the balance in this movie was quite good because there's a lot of what you would call lore here explained. But for me, coming in as a total, I know nothing about these characters, these mythical legends, I thought it was pitched just right.
Yeah,
it gave me enough to build the world and understand the history, but it didn't slow the movie down.
No,
I didn't find it impenetrable.
It's a really good origin story. I guess. It's a really well told origin story.
I thought they got the balance right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Lee has the masked monkey man who he is, and he won't tell him. He's completely won't tell him what his identity is or who he is. The Sea King or the Sea Dragon King, who is Mr. Day, reveals that he doesn't have a dragon pearl.
Yeah, he needs this weapon.
Yeah.
He says till we've got this dragon pearl, we're not strong enough to face.
We can't face Nacha until we have this dragon pearl. So
he says, in the meantime, I know someone who might be strong enough.
Yeah, we can
on.
hire someone who can take him on. They then meet up with the masked monkey man and try and buy him off. They're trying to say
it's him.
Yeah,
we'll give you all this money.
Yeah,
if you kill Nacha.
If you kill him for us.
And he says a war's coming.
Yep,
you need to choose which side you're on. Basically, that's the ultimatum they give to the masked monkey.
Lee goes to visit his brother in hospital. His dad kicks him out. His dad's like, "You can't be here.
This is all your fault.
This is all your fault." Kicks him out of the room. So he goes to tinker with his bike. Basically, he goes to like people who own bikes do, and he accidentally sets it on fire.
Yes, because he can't control. This thing.
And so he goes to see the masked monkey man again, and he says, "Will you teach me how to control this? I need to learn." And he says, if you do, I will build you a cool bike. Because the masked monkey man wants his bike. And he's like, I'll build you your own if you teach me how to control this.
And the monkey's like, it's got to be better than yours.
Yep.
Best one you've ever built.
Yeah. Which Lee agrees to, and he does. And so he says the first thing you need is a suit of armor, because this fire can pour out of all of your body.
Yeah, we need to help control it.
To control it, if we put armor on you, we can focus it of where it comes out from. So there's a massive training montage now.
There's a lot going on in this montage. Right,
really
Lee is a busy man because so this montage covers him training with the masked monkey.
Yep.
To try and harness and control his powers. Yep. So that includes like combat training, but also like meditation and that sort of stuff. He's also building the suit of armor, so basically a superhero suit.
Yep.
He's also building the bike for the masked monkey.
All out of scrap metal.
Yeah, and he's also building a prosthetic leg for his sister. That's all going on in this montage.
Yeah, this montage goes on for ages.
I didn't mind this being a long montage.
No, I didn't, because it
was telling a lot of story. And again, I think they got the balance just about right.
Yeah, it covered a lot of ground.
Because we've seen, even just last week, we saw that montage in Needle in a Time Snap that went on for about 10 minutes of them falling in love. And it's just like, God, you could have done that in a 20th of the time. Yeah. This was well balanced.
Yeah,
and I thought it served a storyline purpose, and it looked great.
It did.
There's loads of shots of him going on fire when he doesn't need to, and just trying to control.
It was really good. It was really clever. And when he comes out of this montage, he's ready. He's fitted this prosthetic leg to his sister. He's built a bike for the monkey man. He's got his suit, and he's now a superhero.
Yeah. So the masked man says, "Well, you think you're ready? Bring it on. Let's fight.
Let's have a fight." So they do, and they have a really fun fight sequence as well, because the masked man's basically unbeatable,
and he's just armed with this wand.
He's just got a wand. It's not like it's fight. Yeah,
without even trying.
Yeah, it doesn't really. It's not even like a magic wand. It's just like a little stick that he can beat him with. And then Nacha's real form is revealed.
Yeah, his mask falls off.
Yeah, and the monkey man's like, they're not. He says the words, they're not united in spirit.
Yeah,
and some reincarnations never even know that they were Nacha, because they get killed too soon and they can't control it, and all this goes off.
So his mask falls off, and he says that I took this as basically he's like the god of mischief.
Yes, I think so.
Well, that's what he's saying at this point.
At this point, that's what he's basically
He's a
describing himself
six-eared
as.
macaque.
The six-eared macaque, yeah.
And he starts to provoke Nezha.
Yeah.
Saying, you can't handle it. You can't handle this demon.
Yeah.
You're not Nezha enough.
You're not Nezha enough.
Yeah.
You're not united is what he basically says. And he says some people never even knew they were him or her. And this fight seems really clever between the two of them because they're learning stuff about each other as they go, and they're also fighting. It's really cool.
And he basically provokes Nezha to come out in his full form, this huge, like I said, behemoth,
three-headed fire demon thing.
And he just goes, there you are.
There you are. Welcome. Nice to see you again. The doctor comes to visit, tells him that his brother's going to be okay.
Yeah. He's out of the...
Because he's not allowed to go back to the hospital.
Woods,
so he's basically going to be okay. And then they get attacked, the doctor and Lee, by this massive, great big fight scene.
They're at the smuggler's base, the courier.
Yeah, the courier
company.
place. And the bad guys turn up
attack.
again with the little fat controller guy comes leading the way. And then he reveals his real form.
Yeah.
Which is basically Blanca from Street Fighter.
He's like a frog dude.
He was a great big green frog dude with orange hair.
Because he basically says to Lee, I've killed your reincarnations before, you're no different.
You're no different.
He's got like a poison tongue.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But he did look like Blanca from Street Fighter.
Yeah, he did a bit,
but he eventually gets defeated when Nacho shows up.
Not before he kills one of the smugglers.
He does kill one of the smugglers, he kills one of Lee's friends. But then he gets defeated because Nacho shows up and basically helps Lee win.
Yeah.
And everybody gets fired to death. Then I didn't catch what this guy was or what his motivation was. But one of the smugglers.
It's one of the smugglers, yeah.
He switches allegiances and signs up with the Sea Prince. I've called him the Sea Prince.
Yeah, my nitpick would be that this felt a bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
This sort of side quest storyline of this smuggler traitoring.
If we'd have built up his character a little bit more of like he's...
Yeah, because he was just background smuggler one.
If he was Lee's best friend or something along those lines, then fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It didn't quite sit right.
Like I say, my criticism would be it took me a bit of time because I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, he needed to be a bigger character, I think. But it basically switches allegiances, goes and meets up with I've called him the Sea Prince here because he was like the son of the Sea King.
The Dragon Prince.
The Dragon Prince or whatever. And basically say, look, I know this guy. I can get you this guy. Yeah. I can help you take him down.
He does it for real cheap as well.
Yeah, he does.
It's like one gold bar, whereas earlier in the movie they were offering like cases
full of the stuff.
Bullion.
Lee then goes to visit. He does go to visit his brother at this point, just because he now knows he's okay, and he overhears his dad slagging him off.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, he doesn't really like the fact that he is.
And he's like, he's still not quite in control of his powers because as his hands on like the doorknob, it starts to glow red hot.
Slightly,
White
when he gets angry, Nacho tries to come out. But the doctor lady tells him that both Kesha and his brother are out of danger now.
Yeah.
They're both going to be fine. She's just got to learn to walk on this new leg.
Sure.
So Kesha goes for a little walk. And as she's out for a walk, she sees I've written bloke. Sees a man go into a room. And he's basically trying to sabotage Jin, because Jin's asleep in there, I think. And he's trying to sabotage Jin's suit. He undoes some of the bolts. This is the guy who's just the traitor guy. He undoes some of the bolts on Jin's suit. And he tries to kill his brother.
No, it's not his brother. It's the guy who got wounded, and he does kill him. It's the guy who got wounded by the frog.
Yeah, sorry,
so it's
you're right.
Other smuggler mate.
Other smuggler friend.
And he just suffocates him with a pillow.
Yeah, he does. You're right.
And she's
Kesha sees
it from the rafters, doesn't she?
Yeah. She manages. She sees it, and he sees her, but they have a bit of a chase, and she manages to get away.
Yeah, she's still. It's quite a good idea for a chase, actually, because she's literally just put this leg on. She's learning really to walk with this prosthetic, and now she's getting chased by a killer.
Bad times.
Stumbling through this hospital, which is sort of all old timbers and beams and
cliff faces.
Yeah.
And then we get distracted by bombs that start landing on this hospital.
I put drone attack.
Yeah, it's basically,
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, basically drone bombs, isn't it? They start blowing this hospital up.
But it turns out that's not what they are.
No.
Because they're basically wood lice.
Yeah, they're like creatures.
Being launched by a massive wood louse.
Yeah. But blowing up.
Yeah.
And they are destroying this hospital. And it's very... there's like a grenade launcher woodlouse on the other side of the mountain. It's firing these little creatures that are blowing up and blowing the hospital up. So Lee gets into his suit and he flies around a bit, blows some of the bombs up, saves the day. But then Nacha shows up.
Yeah.
She comes out at the end. But the suit's been sabotaged.
Yeah, and he can't control it.
He can't control it, and he fails, and the hospital is destroyed, basically.
Basically, yeah.
It blows up completely because he can't control this suit. But then he blows up this rocket launcher, Woodlouse, weird, creepy gun thing. And so that stops all of that. It's a really cool scene because this is like a flying scene now.
It is good. Yeah.
Flying battle scene. Then he fights another cool woman.
A fast pirate lady?
Yeah. She just looked great as well. Everything just looks great, but at this point I'm like, I have no fucking clue what's going on, but I'm enjoying myself. He does beat her, but she manages to get away. She escapes. Unfortunately, Lee's dad, old Lee, is now dying.
Yeah, he got shrapnel.
This is not good to be a member of Lee's family.
No, it really isn't.
He got shrapnel. He's got a steel spike going all the way through him. And he'd say in his final words to Lee, he says, "Live a good life. Do it for me."
Yeah, and he kind of says, "I knew I had an amazing son,"
Yeah,
because I presume he'd seen before getting shrapnelled. He'd seen
Nacha
come out and realised his son's
the superhero, basically. Lee then leaves the hospital through this
vowing revenge.
Yeah, he's going to kill them all. He walks through this fiery hospital. It looks cool as fuck. The masked monkey man then goes to see the Sea Dragon King. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Next to my next sentence, which is the Dragon King has sea tigers who are hoarding all the water.
Yes, so they're basically guarding all the water that's in this massive pot.
They're yes, but they're working, aren't they? They're turning a wheel, which is basically somehow pulling all the water from the above ground, i.e. our world, down into the Dragon King's kingdom.
Yeah, they've got horns. They're like unicorn lion
sea
tiger things. Yeah, they're cool. And there's a little baby one as well.
And that's how he's keeping them under control, because he's got their cub captured.
So the Sea Dragon King wants to know who trained Lee.
Yeah, he said he's not learned that.
He's not learned that himself this fast.
Yeah,
who's done it? And they're saying who done it, but they know that the six-eared macaque had done this. And is this the point? Yeah, it is. This is the point where he reveals that he's actually the Monkey King. Is it?
No, it's in a second.
Okay,
it's the same scene, but a bit lower.
Okay.
Because the Dragon King first says, basically, my plan is to take all the water out of the world.
Yes.
And control it. I will control everyone, not just the city, the world.
Yeah. They basically going to start. He said, I'm going to start a new world order, which I thought was quite funny.
And then they tie up the masked monkey man.
Yes, and they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then Lee shows up.
Yes, and so does the pirate girl who just escaped from fighting at the hospital.
And they were like, right, we need to retreat because we don't have this dragon pearl yet. We can't fight Lee. He's too strong.
Yeah, Mr. Day, the Dragon King's like,
we're not fighting him yet. Let's get out of it. So they retreat.
Except Yao Bing, who is still butthurt from losing that fight at the start, says, Dad, it's my time.
Yeah, I'm going to stay.
I can take him.
And so
the folly of youth.
He summons his ice demon. Nacha shows up, and there's a battle between the two of them.
Fire and ice.
This bit is my favourite scene in this film. It's awesome.
It was great.
The two demons fighting each other was awesome. It looked so cool.
Yao Bing turns into an ice dragon.
Yes, like a proper flying Chinese dragon type thing.
Two Chinese dragons in this season at the bottom of the street.
So bizarre, isn't it? And Lee basically wins this fight because he manages to rip out the metal spine of Yao Bing.
Yeah.
He's got a metal spine, apparently.
Yeah.
I think it was revealed earlier on, but it was a very throwaway line, I think. But he has this metal spine and Lee rips it out.
Yeah.
And that's how he kills him. The masked man, monkey man, then takes out one of the disciples of one of the demons. There's just this huge fight going on. And this is where the point where we get a flashback, which is basically Nacha's origin story.
Yeah, and Lee is flashing back to some of the many wrongs committed by Nacha
over the years. And we meet this little girl who killed her own family and her own whole clan.
Yeah.
And that's how she became Nacha the fire demon.
Yeah.
And so it's basically the fire demon Nacha is a little girl.
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
That's and these three faces that it's got are like children's faces.
Yeah.
And then, this is the point, where he reveals that he isn't the six-eared macaque that he's been saying he is, which is the god of chaos or whatever
Mischief.
it was. Mischief.
Yeah.
He's actually the Monkey King, the greatest hero to ever live.
Yeah, and Lee is like, oh my god, you're a legend. You're like, you're real, and B, you're
the best,
most,
because
the greatest of all the gods.
You're because where there is suffering in the world, he knows what to do.
Yeah,
he knows how to cure that. And that's what he does, but he's been living in hiding.
He said, well, the Monkey King says, I just, all I've been trying to do for thousands of years is fix the world, and it never makes any difference. There is always something more else evil
going wrong.
Yeah.
So they take the sea prince, the dead body of the sea prince, and they just throw that into the East Sea.
They throw it down a hole which leads to the Dragon King's world.
Yeah, it's kind of an up hole.
Yeah.
And it's revealed at this point that the sea dragons are river creatures who need fresh water to survive.
Yeah.
So they're not sea dragons. But, okay, we'll let that
slide. And it's also revealed, the Monkey King says to Lee, the Dragon King is building a dragon pearl.
Yes. We see that in construction. The water's forming this pearl.
And the reason he's taking all the water from the world is so that the sea dragons can live.
Yeah.
And help create this pearl.
Yes.
Basically. Oh, and also, he's got your magical sky ribbon.
Yes. Of course he has. But you say you probably need to get that back. It reveals as well that Nezha is the personification of evil, and she will only show up when you want to kill people.
Yeah.
If you've got the passion to kill somebody, that's when Nezha will show up.
Yeah.
But she won't help you out in any other situation.
Yeah. And again, he says to Lee, you're not Nezha enough.
You're not Nezha enough. You want to save people. You're a good guy.
Yeah.
So it's basically a bad demon embodied in a good person.
Yeah. Which is a cool little twist.
It's a great little twist, yeah. Lee's brother wakes up. And the
traitor tries to say,
the saboteur
this
guy
is all Lee's fault. Yeah.
And he tries to blame Lee for this. And he grabs Kesha.
She said, no, it's you. You're a traitor.
Yeah. So he grabs her and he's like, because he's been revealed at this point, and he's just his last ditch attempt to save himself. But he manages
to need any of this.
No, he didn't. He manages to fall to his death from a window.
Yeah, basically trips.
He trips over a window and fall, because in China they don't have glass in their windows; it's just a hole in the wall. He falls out of this window.
Had been exploded.
It had. That's true. But I don't think it ever had glass.
No, I don't think it did. It wasn't in the design aesthetic.
No, it wasn't. So he trips out this window and he falls down a cliff and lands in the ocean and dies. That's the end of him. His character was completely redundant. He didn't do anything. Lee and Kesha then go to visit their dad's grave.
Yeah, I put they're basically burying old Lee or saying farewell to him.
They have a drink and they get a bit drunk. Yeah. And Kesha sings a song and it's all quite nice and fun.
Then the rest of the family give Lee basically a pep talk. Yeah. He's ready to give up, and they're like, no, go and take out the Day Clan. Go and
bring the water
care
back.
Of the Dragon King. Yeah, you can do it.
Lee's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to bring back the water.
But he says to Nezha, I don't need you.
Yeah, he tells Nezha to stay behind.
You're useless.
Yeah, I'm going to save these people.
Do it on my own.
You will, and I will go alone. I don't need you. So she disappears.
I've then written several things I would never have expected.
Go on.
So, just before that, Lee goes back. He goes back to the palace.
Yep.
To this hole that leads to the Dragon King's aquatic world.
Yeah.
And jumps down into the ocean.
Yep.
And he rides a metal shark.
Or he gets attacked by a metal shark and ends up controlling it and riding it.
Like a horse. And is chased by shrimp chariots.
Yeah.
That's what I put.
I put bow and arrow lobsters. But yeah, they are. They're just like, it's so strange. It's all a bit mental.
And basically, there's another chase scene, but it's him making his way through this underwater kingdom.
Yeah,
trying
to get to this underwater palace.
To the jellyfish castle.
I feel like I'm having a fever dream.
The animation, again, it's brilliant.
Beautiful.
The underwater animation.
So beautiful. It's a really beautiful
it's fantastic.
Film. Ross has got a real history of picking beautiful animations.
Yeah.
And he's done well again. And then we find out that the Sea Dragon King is here. He's in the palace, but he has the doctor. He's kidnapped the Doctor.
He's got the Doctor. He's also still got the captured water tiger unicorn things. And Lee, that's the first thing Lee sees. He sees these water tigers still turning this wheel, pulling all this water in from the real world.
So he kind of understands what he needs to do at that point.
And his ribbon, Netcha's magic weapon is this magic ribbon.
Yeah.
And that's what these water tigers are tied up with.
Yeah.
So he tries to break it, but he can't.
No.
Because it's magic.
And
it's not under his control.
No, not at this point. But there's an awesome fight scene here. Again, another one. So the lady that escaped earlier turns up.
Oh, the pirate woman.
The speedy pirate woman.
Yeah.
She turns up. And so the two men fight.
Yeah.
Lee and the Sea Dragon King. And the Doctor and this sea pirate lady fight.
Yeah, but it's not really a fight. So
no, she's kind of like beating her up.
Yeah, but the Doctor manages to trap her arms,
yeah.
doesn't she? And some machinery.
So it's a really cool like 4-way fight scene going on. But it ends when the Doctor falls into this hole.
Yeah.
And so we feel like she's gone at that point. She's fallen into this hole. And they've got Lee pinned down. And he manages to control his powers, even though he's not. Has he got the suit on? I can't remember.
He's basically trapped. No, I don't think he has. Yeah, I think he has at this point.
Actually, yeah.
And the Dragon King basically traps him.
Yes.
In this kind of tarry
goo
loop that's got him pinned to the ground.
So they pin him down, but he manages to overpower them, and he kills the disciple lady. He kills her without the help of Netcha as well. It's his first body of the film, and he managed to overpower the Sea Dragon King. And we find out that the Doctor did fall down this hole, but she's managed to get caught up in some chains on the way down. So she's actually survived this. But now the Sea Dragon King has his Dragon Pearl. It's finished construction. And
he kills one of the tigers.
Yeah, he does.
No reason.
And he's like, what I'm going to do is release all of the water at once, which will cause a giant tsunami.
I'm going to release the water, which will release the sea dragons. I'm sending them back to the the real world, which will cause a giant tsunami, which will destroy the world. And then we'll start again.
And then we'll start afresh. Lee's trying to stop it. He's trying to... So basically, to do that, he's got to topple this water tower over.
This big plug.
Yeah, basically. Lee's trying to stop it. He's straining with all his might to stop it. His armour starts to break off. He can't hold it. And because his armour's breaking off, he's getting weaker. And he can't hold it. And eventually the water is released. Yeah. And this tsunami does strike.
And these water dragons are sent out into the real world. Yeah.
So the tower collapses underneath.
The ribbons break as well.
Yes, they do. So the tigers are released. The tsunami is approaching the city. The shot of the tsunami approaching the city was amazing.
Yeah.
Really looked cool. There's another fight scene. The two men are fighting. Lee removes the rest of his armor and he sets them both on fire.
He basically combusts.
Yeah, he basically
presses the self-destruct.
He has no control over his powers anymore without his armor.
He's in combat with the Dragon King and boom, everything goes on fire.
Yeah.
Everything's burnt.
And that's how he defeats the Dragon King. And also it appears to die himself. He dies in the Doctor's arms, basically, and she cries over his body.
And then we cut to this might have been my favourite shot. So his sister and brother, they're all stood outside the hospital, and this huge tsunami wave is just about to engulf the hospital. It's like looming over them.
And there's sea dragons swimming in and out of it, jumping in and out of it. Looks cool as fuck. Just as Jin is, I keep calling him Jin. Just as Lee is about to die, Netcha comes to him in a vision. And she says basically, can I save everyone? Or I can't save everyone. And he says, you better find your next incarnation because he knows he's about to die. But then Netcha puts his armor back together and on him.
Yeah.
She basically fixes him. And he has a really cool new look because he's like topless, isn't he? And
he's got
his
fire tattoos branded
all over him, and he's got his ribbon around one of his arms, and he looks cool. And he manages to use his ribbon to tie up the water. This is how I understood it, to bring the water back under control.
Yeah.
So he uses his magic ribbon to bring the water back under control. And as he does that, the tsunami disappears. It just disappears and the ocean goes back to its nice calm state. And it starts raining, which it doesn't do in this city. That's why they've got no water. It doesn't rain. Some of the kids in the city have never seen rain. Everybody's quite surprised. he then parts the sea
Yeah.
like Moses
And just walks
and
out.
walks out with the Doctor. And
the one surviving water tiger unicorn.
They ride back in on his ribbon, don't they?
Yeah.
It's cool. And they meet up with the Monkey King, the formerly masked monkey guy.
Yeah.
And he walks up to him, and it's really cool because he walks up to this monkey and he goes, "I am Nacha now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's cool because you are." And he rides off into the city because he's like, "I need to go and make sure this city's all right."
And we see the family together.
But what I really liked is the Monkey King kind of walks away, but he's listing off all the things that Lee doesn't have yet.
Yeah.
All his powers that he doesn't have, and that's the sequel tease. You know, that's the future of Lee's character, wherever this is.
And he's left the mask, hasn't he?
He leaves the mask on the floor behind. Yeah. If you don't like things in your life, you have to fight to change them. Is the message of this movie, and it's basically said at this point. And then it ends with him saying, "This is my world. My name is Lee Yongxiang. My name is Necha."
Yeah.
The end. And then there's fuckloads of end credit scenes.
Oh, there was only I got it wrong. There was 3 end credit scenes, not 4.
It actually says at the end of the film, "Stay tuned for a post-credit scene," which I think all films should take on, because then you're not sitting around in a cinema like an idiot.
The first one is basically a ferret.
It's the only one I saw. I didn't
falling into a hole in the desert.
Okay.
And he falls into I put a cache of god weapons.
Yes.
Which I presume are some of these things the Monkey King was listing.
Yeah, he kind of lands in like a mirror, doesn't it? And then the words, "the order of the glass," or "the order of the gods," comes up on the screen.
The second one is like a woman in green from like feudal China from the past, somehow falling through a portal into a modern city.
Okay.
And then there was another.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, coming soon, whatever this is called.
So this is building up this franchise.
And then the third one is Lee on his bike at night, riding down an alleyway, and he sort of stops and sees a man in a hat with a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
And again, it says "coming soon," something else.
There's a franchise building here.
Yeah, sure.
This is the origins of a franchise that's coming. What did you think of this film, Nick?
I really enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it as well. I think it's a little bit too long.
Yeah, but like I say, that whole sort of traitor smuggler subplot could have been cut out.
Yeah, definitely. But unless that's going somewhere, you don't know. But
yeah,
I don't think it is.
On the whole, I think, like I said earlier, they got the balance right, because I didn't feel I was like dumped in this, and I didn't feel it was an impenetrable law.
No.
Yeah, I think you probably could have cut 10 minutes off it, and it would have been better for it. But look, there's always something to look at and go, "Whoa, that's cool."
Yeah, it looked amazing. It's
and I did enjoy the story. I did enjoy the characters.
I managed
thought
to keep
well
track
written
of it as well. And
yeah,
like you say, coming into it completely blind. I think everybody's coming into it blind. I think this is the origins of a brand new thing. But
it's based on. These are based on. This is based on a book from the 16th century.
Okay.
As in these sort of myths and
legends and things.
I had a fun time.
Me too. I thought it was.
I was invested in the story, and the fights were great.
It's not the sort of thing I'd normally watch, but I feel like I would go and watch any.
That's why I love this show.
Yeah,
because I've watched this. I wouldn't have watched it. I had a really fun time.
I feel like I could get invested in this franchise now. I feel like I could.
Yeah.
I definitely would watch the next one.
Yeah,
and just see where it goes.
I would as well.
Yeah, I think I definitely would. I assume it will come to Netflix at some point. If it might already be there. I've not checked, but yeah, I would 100% would get invested in this franchise. I think it's a really interesting idea and a really nice concept, and it looks beautiful. Yeah, I think Ross has picked really well on this one.
I do.
What's the best thing about it?
I mean, it's just got to be how it looks, hasn't it? Yeah. And the effects and the fight scenes. It's got to be if we're going really specific, it's the fight scenes when the gods come out.
Yeah.
It just looks insane. This would look brilliant on a big screen.
Yeah, it looked great on my telly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The fight scene between Nacha and the Ice Demon was fantastic.
Yeah.
It just looked beautiful. So, yeah, I think that's right. What would you change about it? I think you're right. I think I'd cut out 20 minutes of it.
I don't need that subplot with the...
It didn't lead anywhere, did it?
I'd rather have more, even if you're not changing the length, I'd rather have more of like the little frog henchman guy.
Yeah, he got killed really quickly, didn't
he?
Yeah.
You could just trim it a little bit.
Just neaten it up a little bit.
Tighten it up a little bit.
I'd agree.
But I don't have any big changes to make to it, really.
No, normally it's pretty solid. Stream table?
Sure.
you want me to read up what we've got so far?
Okay, yep.
So there's 5 films in the stream table currently. This is the 6th film to go in there. Currently number 5 is Needle in a Time Stack. Currently number 4 is The Cleanse. Number 3 is The Giver. Number 2 is Double World. And number 1 is Old People, top of the stream.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think it's pretty high for me.
Yeah, I think so.
I
think I know exactly where I want to put it.
I think you're going to want to put it at the same place as me.
Go on.
I think you want to put it second.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it seems sensible. It's not going to beat Old People.
I think there's an argument there.
Oh yeah, there is.
But I think we're both on the side of old people.
Yeah, I'm always on the side of the old people. Being an old person myself,
and they're really difficult, really, really difficult to compare.
Yeah, they couldn't be more different. But you can compare it to Double World because it's.
But I'm still.
Double World's basically a live action version of this,
and this is better.
And this is better than Double World. So
for me, Old People is just. It's been what 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Now since I've watched that, and it still keeps occasionally just dropping into my mind and making me go, "Oh."
It was grisly, wasn't it?
Maybe for that reason alone, Old People just has the edge. But I think it's close.
I agree. I think it is. Cool. Do you want to pick next week's film?
I think, just before we do that,
go on.
I think, although this isn't quite top in the stream table, I think this is going to stick in my mind as one of my. Just for all out fun and what it looks like, this is going to be one of my favourite hidden gems.
Yeah, absolutely.
On this show, ever.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
I've really enjoyed it.
It's made the wildcard race for this season wide open because it's going to take some beating.
Yeah,
it really is going to take some beating.
Yeah,
the gauntlet has been thrown down by Ross Cook. So come at him, people.
Yeah. Challenge laid down.
Absolutely. Right, should we pick next week's film?
No. Well, yes. But
we're using a different Robin.
We are.
Christmas Robin.
Because next week will be,
Christmas.
so the calendar tells us, our Christmas episode.
It will. I love our Christmas episodes.
So we're not going off our usual list.
No, we have a special Christmas Robin.
Yeah.
A randomizer full of Netflix's Christmas films.
Yeah.
And we're going to spin that one, I guess.
Let's do it.
Shall we? Okay. Robin has picked us an interesting one here. We have a Bulgarian Christmas movie.
Great. We've definitely never been to Bulgaria.
We have never been to
on
Bulgaria.
This show. I think we've seen probably quite a few films that have been filmed in Bulgaria.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that Nicolas Cage exclusively films movies in Bulgaria and Romania.
I think you are right.
But yeah, okay, good. What have we got?
We have got a film called Smart Christmas.
Okay.
It's from 2018. Do you want a synopsis?
Yes, please.
It's a family comedy. The film tells the story of a young boy who finds himself in Santa's workshop and changes completely the old-fashioned production processes with ultra-modern, high-tech production lines.
I have no idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it's a young boy who's going to go in and modernise Santa's workshop.
A Christmas logistics movie, I guess.
I don't think they come any more bottom of the stream than a Bulgarian Christmas. It's a musical as well.
Oh, even better. All right, no.
A Bulgarian Christmas musical.
Definitely on board.
Oh, wow. It's 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay.
The very first review on IMDb says, pure garbage. What a way to ruin Christmas.
Brilliant.
That's what we're all about. That's what we want. I'm excited.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, it's Christmas next week, everybody. So, as a Christmas present to us, what you could do is head over to Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd and follow us on there. The username is @BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will be able to find every stream. I've done the season 7 stream table.
Oh, amazing.
So you'll be able to find every season stream table, loads of other cool stuff on there, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Yule log.
Nice. I love a Yule log. You can't beat a good Yule log after Christmas dinner. Yeah, so after you've done all that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month. And if you come in at the top level, you could do what Ross has just done. Play a wild card and try and beat him. Try and beat him at this film and see if we can find something better. So yeah, you can do that if you come in at the top level. And then when you've done all of that, head into the Discord. In the Discord, you will find a group of really cool movie-loving people who will talk to you about anything. We play games, we do watch-alongs. We need to sort out a Christmas watch-along. We're running out of time. And yeah, loads of cool stuff happens in there. We have a lot of fun. The Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
If you really want to continue giving us a lovely Christmas present, then please consider doing that in the form of a review or a rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. We're on all of those places: Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, all of those places and more. Just come and find us and leave us a review. It really helps us out. Thank you.
It really does. Thank you. So you said thank you at the end was really weird.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Yeah, so do all of that. Have a lot of fun, and we'll come back for our Christmas special. This is our 4th Christmas special now?
I think so.
Wow.
We could maybe do a little ranking of our Christmas movies.
Oh, Christmas stream table.
Yeah.
I will do a Christmas stream table.
Okay.
I like that idea. Yeah, so come back for our Christmas special. So we'll be doing the Christmas wave next Monday, and our Christmas movie show will be Smart Christmas next Thursday.
Cheers.
Bye.